Hello everyone, welcome to Twig. And if you want me to say the same thing that I've been saying for the past 7 weeks, is that we've had 3 drivers going for this championship that are relatively close to each other and that are gone from the rest of the field. There we go. I got it out of the way. Remember when we came to Twig last time? I think it was 2013C. When Mertz got spun, Erdman had issues, Livingood had issues. They were all together until St. Eustache the following week. That's what happened last week, but it was only to Livingood. Erdman had issues in the last corner, and Mertz went on to win. So what will happen today? Who knows? Seeding, that's the seeding round. As we did not have one last week, this is the seeding round this week. Tanner Smith, 25.235. It was technically Chris Wetz who had a 25.0, but he cut one of the features on the course and got disqualified. Livingood, 25.311. Bellamy, 4.96. Erdman, 6.70. Mertz, 9.82. Both of the Subarus had brake lockup in the seeding round. They had temp issues, locked up the brakes, made them go really slow. Lester, 26.008. Sherman, a 0.54. Hagenstein, 27.357. Still fuming from last week. And Doug DeNice, 27.738. And the aforementioned Chris Wetz, a disqualified time in car number 71. So we're going to go inside Tanner Smith's car, who was fastest in the seeding round for your onboard lap today here in Twig, because that was Chris Wetz. Theirs was his cut, actually, right on that little grass part, and that's what disqualified his time. So you're around this corner, and the banked final corner to shoot you out onto the front straightaway, across the line right there. Turn 1, very tricky. This is where the MRT cars hit their brakes right at the spot where it transforms, locked them up. Curbs are really tricky. The sand is really tricky. You have to hit the curbs if you want. This jump is not easy. Right there, you land on the jump, and it sends your car sideways for this corner. Then you flick the car to avoid that little dirt and the curb. And if you're really fast, you'll hug the curb on the inside, and that, believe it or not, was a lap here at Twig. It was only 25 seconds. Very, very fast laps here at the Twig track. So as the cars round the grid for heat number 1, let's go through your format for today's race. It's a 10-car field once again, same cars that ran last week. 2 heats for 4 laps apiece, and the top 2 advance to the final. Others move to the last chance qualifier. You have to take the Joker once, which if you saw the cars lined up for seating, there's the little beach you have to jump down, and there's a jump to get back on the circuit. We'll show you obviously during the broadcast. The last chance qualifier, the drivers that did not transfer will battle it out for 3 laps in the last 2 spots. The rest are awarded points. You have to take the Joker once. And the final is 6 drivers for 8 laps, and you have to take the Joker twice. And this Joker is very tricky, as I was trying to find a car there, to show you where the Joker is, but they all are on the grid. So the grid for heat number 1, it's going to be Tanner Smith on pole, who was fastest in seating. Wetz actually benefits from being disqualified as he's put next to Tanner instead of being where his teammate Livingood is in car number 51. Doug DeNice in car number 10 in 4th, and on the back row of the grid is Daniel Bellamy in his private Subaru. This grid is unique. This start is unique because it funnels down and you have a berm right on the apex of the corner, and we've seen the pole sitter for the heats and the LCQ and final hit it so many times. Getting ready to go. Here we are, it's lights out, and away we go, and off the line. Livingood gets the hole shot, followed by Wetz. You see the berm on the inside. Will Tanner hit it? No. Yes, he does, actually. He does hit the berm, and that sends him out wide and into the sand trap. So now, Livingood leads. Will who go to the Joker on the first lap? It's DeNice. So there is DeNice in the Joker. You'll see him go down on the beach and jump back out onto the track. And this puts Livingood in the lead. Tanner hit the berm like I told you before, and at the end of lap number 1, Livingood leads. Wetz in 2nd, chasing his teammate Bellamy 3rd. Remember, Livingood and Wetz were battling for a championship this time last season. Now it's just Livingood, as Livingood takes the Joker in car number 51. Down onto the beach in his Mitsubishi. Wetz in 2nd, holding the transfer spot. Bellamy 3rd. And just like that, it's lap number 3. Bellamy hitting the wall, trying to get to the transfer spot. He has to catch Wetz. He is fastest of all on the track, 25.304 for Bellamy, 3.60 Livingood, 7.36 Wetz. He takes to the Joker in car number 125. I think this may have affected his chances as Denice is having issues in car number 10. Yes, it did. It really affected his chances. Final corner, white flag for Living Good. He needs this heat win to stay alive in the championship. He's got a 6-point deficit to the MRT drivers because of that disappointing race in Negus last week. So you know he wants to try and get this gap back. Wet to the Joker. Can he do anything to his teammate? The Joker is faster. Until then, no. Nowhere close. Final corner. Final couple of feet. Living Good wins heat number 1. Wets transfers. The battle for third is raging between Bellamy and Smith. Smith is sideways. He got it. Third, fourth is Bellamy. And fifth is Denice in car number 10. As heat number 2, and like I said, this race goes quick. Heat number 2 already getting ready to go. Let us catch our breath from that. And there is your co-points leader with the other points leader right there. There they go, in the same shot. The two MRT drivers were tied with Living Good once this season on points, and now it's just them. I think they were tied together. I'm not sure. It's been a cluster of points tying. But anyway, on pole for heat number 2, it's the 3 MRT cars, so it's Erdman, Hagenstein, Mertz. And like I mentioned last week in Negus, there are now 3-car teams as of next season in the NASA RallyCross Challenge, so you will be seeing the MRT stars next to Hagenstein's name in car number 83. 4th place is Sherman, and 5th place is Casey Lester for this heat. Hagenstein's still fuming, but I'm sure he'll let his teammates go and battle it out to see who will get the heat win between the two teammates. Revving them up for heat number 2. And it's lights out, and away we go. Off the line, Hagenstein does that, lets his teammates go. It's going to be Erdman and Mertz battling. As Mertz hits the berm, and car number 81, he's on his side. Hagenstein hits him, and around he goes. And Lester stops. Hagenstein stops. And we should get a red flag. We should be getting... Race control says no. Race control is saying no red flag, and that will make the MRT drivers furious. So it's Erdman and Sherman. I hate to say this heat is over, but it's pretty much over. Because Lester parked it. Mertz is having issues. Hagenstein is protesting. This is what Hagenstein's doing. Hagenstein is fuming. He was already mad. He is even more mad in car number 83. 2 to go for Erdman. So Hagenstein's parking it up, and he's not running anymore. He's stopped. Lester penalty box in car number 50. I don't know why. I think he might have cut. I think actually he hit Hagenstein, which hit Mertz. But I'm unsure about that. Hagenstein's still protesting. White flag for Erdman, and this heat has gone down the drain in a hurry. Definitely one of the most controversial ones. You see Mertz is flying in car number 81. You can tell he's mad. He's never driven this fast at this track before. 24.820 is his fastest lap. He's 0.3 of a second faster than his teammate. Speaking of his teammate, that's going to give him a bonus point and move him to the points lead tentatively as he wins heat number 2. Sherman second. Mertz is still flying in car number 81. Incredibly mad with what happened as he crosses the line in third. 4th is Lester, and technically Hagenstein hasn't finished the race yet, but he finishes in the 5th spot in car number 83. So this is going to put both of them in the LCQ for the 2nd consecutive week. Tanner's in the LCQ. Lester's in the LCQ. This is going to be a hell of a race. So here's the LCQ grid, the front row at least, as they round the track here. Denice is on pole position. Lester second. Mertz is third. Bellamy fourth. And I think the back row is going to be Hagenstein and Smith. So yeah, that will be the grid here in Bent Twig for the LCQ, and you can tell that Mertz was mad in his heat. If he was mad in his heat, he's furious now. because this is the second consecutive week he's got to go to the LCQ. We're revving him up, getting ready to go, and it's lights out, and away we go, and off the line. Mertz got the jump. You know he's mad. Smith is stuck behind Denice, so that's going to compromise his race. Around the final corner, the first corner, I should say, missing the berm, off the track, Lester and Hagginson is around, and Tristan's going to be even more mad. Please don't play the radio for car number 83. It's going to be nothing but profanity. Mertz takes to the Joker and gets that out of the way, so now he can pull away from the rest of the field, coming to 2 laps to go. And I did the wrong graphic. There you go. That's the right graphic now. Mertz leads. Smith second. So he is holding the transfer spot. Denice is in third. Smith gets turned by Denice in car number 10. Bellamy gets through. That's going to set... Wow. Come on, Doug Denice. Wow. So Mertz leads in car number 81. And he takes the white flag. And he's pretty much uncontested. The battle is between Bellamy and Lester, and Smith is mad. Looks like Denice took to the... Whoa, Lester! Sideways! Looks like potentially a tire failure on car number 50. Denice did not go to the penalty box. He stopped on track, but that's not the penalty box. He's going to transfer again. Mertz wins the LCQ for the second consecutive week. Bellamy's going to take advantage of the misfortune of Tanner Smith, who will finish 7th. This gives him 2nd place Privateers. 8th place is Tristan. 9th place is Denice, who looks like he will not finish. And 10th place is Lester. I believe he exploded a tire in car number 50 spectacularly and had him slide off the track. So getting ready for the final now in Bent Twig. And as the cars round the grid, this is what it looks like. Well, not yet, but it will build to that. Living Good on pole. Then it's Chris Wetz in car number 71 alongside, so it's a Revolution sweep of the first 2 grid spots. Erdman in 3rd. Sherman will be 4th in car number 15. And then 5th place and 6th place, Bellamy and Mertz. Actually, Mertz and Bellamy, I should say. Excuse me there. So that is your grid as it's coming to form. Mertz has to be in the back row for the second consecutive week. But if all indication is, if it's any indication as to how good he is on the back row, he used to always be good on the front row, but Wetz is... Oh, Sherman and Wetz, wrong grid spots. There you go. Okay. So, Mertz has been having issues with his launch control all season. It was never documented and never pointed out until a couple weeks ago when the MRT driver said, yeah, my launch control is not playing nice. That's why I've been terrible on the starts. So I think it helps him being on the back row because he can mess up his start because there's a glitch in the Subaru, and then he can take the fight to whoever he wants. He starts behind his teammate. Bellamy starts behind Wetz. It's the manufacturer cars on the front row, joined by a private Ford. The 3 title protagonists are in it. 8 laps, 6 drivers. It's lights out and away we go. Off the line, Revolution cars side by side, going down into turn number 1. Who will get affected by the berm? Living Good doesn't. Mertz battling Erdman. Living Good leads. Wetz runs it wide, so this is going to put Living Good, Erdman, Mertz as beginning lap number 1 of 8. It's Living Good furiously battling with Erdman. Bellamy takes to the Joker in car number 125 as well as Sherman. So rounding the final corner to complete the first lap, it's Living Good leading in car number 51. Erdman, then Mertz. Mertz has to desperately try and get by his teammate because we know what happened last week in Negus as those two came together along with 2 weeks ago in Talladega. To the Joker goes Mertz. From the helicopter, you see how much faster it is until you hit the beach and it bottoms you out and it pretty much doesn't help you. Erdman runs it wide. Living Good still pulling away, already on lap number 3. Fastest on track, 26.624. It's Mertz, 3.96, I should say. No, Living Good's fastest, 25.314. Erdman ran it wide. Mertz takes the spot from him as he immediately goes to the Joker again. As this race is incredibly fast-paced, Living Good goes to the Joker as well in car number 51. Erdman's around! I didn't mean to scream like that, as quickly as that, but that might seal the championship fate for Cody Erdman. As he bottomed out on the jump, It's exactly what happened to Lambert a couple seasons ago. I believe it happened to Erdman exactly that as well. As Livingood goes to the Joker, he still leads over Mertz in car number 81. Wetz is now in third. And I believe now this is going to become a classic Mertz-Livingood duel because these two are driving like mad. 4 to go, crossed flags. It's Livingood and Mertz by themselves here. Mertz, you can tell he's focused. Perfect drift by car number 81. Wetz is getting close, but I don't think he'll be able to take the fight to him. No, he doesn't. I thought he was going to take to the Joker. Bellamy got by Erdman. Erdman's going to fight him for the 4th spot because any point matters this late in the season. As we begin 3 laps to go for Livingood. Mertz is now second, or Mertz has been second, but he is driving like mad to try and catch Livingood. Gap is ever so shrinking. These 3 are separated from the rest of the pack. Erdman is 4th. Sherman currently leading Privateers over Bellamy, so those two having a nice battle. Livingood rounds the final corner, and it's 2 laps to go already. And we've only been going for 16 minutes. Livingood, Mertz, Wetz. That's the podium. I don't think it's changing, but Mertz is getting ever so close. Look from the helicopter. It's about 2.5 car lengths between the two champions. 24.636. That was Mertz's last lap. That was Mertz's fastest lap, and he's fastest man on the circuit. He is trying to catch Dylan Livingood, but I don't think he'll have enough time. White flag, 25 seconds left in this race. Mertz driving ever so hard, trying to catch the quadruple champion. They both clipped the curb. Livingood got it better than Mertz, and that might seal it. Mertz will not be able to catch him, I don't think, through the final couple of corners. Can he do it? No, he can't. Rounding the final corner, win number 12 for Dylan Livingood as he wins in Bent Twig. Mertz finishes second. Wetz finishes third. Damage limitation on Mertz's part, finishing second. Erdman claws back to 4th. Spectacularly, as Sherman finishes 5th. Bellamy up in the fence in car number 125. Why is it always unique with Bellamy as to what happens? Remember in Croft, when he was on his side. Oh boy, that's interesting. But there's your winner. 12th career win as he breaks the tie between him and Mertz that Mertz got last week. And now Livingood has won in both Canadian tracks. As let's go through the official results today. As Livingood wins, then it's Mertz and Wetz on the podium. Erdman claws back to 4th, but that's going to make him lose the points lead, I think. Sherman 5th, Bellamy 6th, Smith 7th, Hagenstein 8th, Lester 9th, Denice 10th. And Privateers go from 5th to 10th as the constructor cars are 1 through 4. So Sherman wins Privateers, Bellamy 2nd, Smith 3rd. The Drivers' Championship, he did lose the points lead. 135 Mertz, 133 Livingood, 132 Erdman. And with 42 points left on offer, I think Hagenstein is barely mathematically eligible. When realistically, it's only the top 3, like I've said for the past couple weeks. As Wetz, Smith, Hagenstein, Lester, Bellamy, Sherman, Carr is the rest of the top 10. The Constructors' Championship, like I said last week, we are well on our way to break another record for the 3rd consecutive season. MRT 267, Revolution 241. And the Manufacturers' Championship, 155 Subaru. They had 18 points, and they could have potentially clinched it in Riverside next week, but they've only got 14 points now, so I don't think that'll happen. Mitsubishi 141, Citroen 66 along with Ford, and Volkswagen now has 17. So the race went quick. But that is the best part here at Bent Twig, as what a race we had for Dylan Livingood, who now has a 2-point deficit on Josh Mertz as we go to Riverside. And if you remember what happened in Riverside, Erdman was leading between the 3, and those two didn't make the final, I don't think, because of the escapade they had in their heat race. So it's going to be exciting next week for the final round of the Endurance Cup and round number 9 of the NASA RallyCross Challenge in 2014B. Hopefully you can join us then. Thank you for watching today, and so long, everyone.